Hello Mariusz, nice having you here. Welcome back to Romania. How is everything going?
And I just got the reward from Prognotes
Congrats.
for the Wasteland album, so I'm pretty happy. Besides, we just came here after a very long trip, and the night full of surprises. So, but I'm safe and sound now. I'm in good hands, thanks to Olivia.
Yeah, so a few days ago another tour leg of Wasteland over Europe started. So today is actually the fourth show, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
How are the three shows so far?
Perfect. We thought that we had when we started Wasteland tour last year, we had really good crowd in Poland, the best so far. We had really great crowd in Holland, in Germany, in UK, all these places that we were sure that it will grow. But we was not sure what happens when we come back to Prague, when we come back to Slovakia and Hungary, because we lost time in this part of Europe. We've been like 4 years ago or 5 years ago. It's one of the big question mark. But and 4 years ago when we played I don't know, for instance Slovakia, it was like 80 people, so not so great. But now it seems that lots of people wants to see us and wants to listen to us, and we are not afraid anymore. So those two shows were pretty great. In Hungary we had a sold out show, so it was like 600 people. It was really great.
Yeah. So let's talk about the new album Wasteland, which was released actually last year. So starting from the title, the tracks and the lyrics also, it suggests me that Wasteland has a realistic concept behind. Can you tell me more about it?
Wasteland is a story about surviving. It's about a story about surviving us after the apocalypse, after the end of the world. For us, the end of the world, and it's connected with our story, with the story of the band, because for us, the end of the world was the death of our guitar player. We've been struggling for 1 year to return. Later, we decided to go on tour that we called Towards the Blue Horizon, because we know that this song is kind of connected with Piotr. However, it was written to someone else. Also, I didn't have a great period of time since 2014 till 2017. I was one of the worst thing in my life, so probably that's why I wanted to spend as much time as possible in the studio. That's why I did lots of albums together with Lunatic Soul. So I thought that after all these things, those things were like the end of the world for me. And when it happened, and it's time to move on. It's time to go on with something else. So I really needed the subject that is connected with my own story. So I thought that Wasteland is not about the past. It's not about why we had the end of the world, why all these things happened. No, it doesn't matter now anymore. It's about survival, it's about these people who survived. It's about us, mostly. How can we deal with that? What can we do now? Where we should start to build our first city? How can we reunion again? So that's the story of the album. I always try to put the things connected with Riverside albums, the Lunatic Soul albums, that are connected with the things that happen in my life. So, yeah. So I wrote about myself a bit.
Yeah. Indeed, the album is very deep and emotional. So there is Lament, which in my opinion, this song is one of the deepest ones. So does this song has a story behind too?
I just imagine the post-apocalyptic world. I just imagine that something happened before, I don't know, some families lost members lost the members. For instance, in Lament, in the first part, there's a story about the family who lost their child, and they're just waiting for the child. Maybe more for the son, maybe for the daughter. But in the second verse, I'm writing about the caravan of shadows. I just remembered, people these days are passing each other. Then they are all the time in a hurry. They just don't have time to say something nice to you. And I just imagine all these people after the big catastrophe, that they find themselves in a totally different place. They started to be in one community, maybe I don't know, like a sect or something, and they just started to pray to God, to please help us, do something with us, right? Totally 100% degrees to change. And it's mostly about escape or just yearning for escape from the place, like, I don't know, Wasteland.
Yeah, well, besides that, this album has also some deep and dark elements. Let's say there are also some bright elements in the album. We have River Down Below, Guardian Angel, to give some examples. So we are talking here about some transition between these two elements. Are these transitions a challenge for you? I mean, was a challenge for you?
River Down Below is about suicide, so I'm not sure if it's so bright, but Guardian Angel is also pretty dark. But the biggest transition, speaking of the Riverside lyrics, was that this time it should be, the light at the end of tunnel. It should be hope, because I still believe that after the big apocalypse, there is still a chance, a little chance to rebuild yourself, that you can start your life, new life. So that's mostly about it. The Night Before it's that kind of song, with this piece of hope at the end.
Yeah. So is Wasteland somehow an album in memory of Piotr?
His presence is available all the time. I think, that was his, the biggest influence, let's say. Because, as I said before, his death was like the end of the world for us. But it's not only about that. The Wasteland has also deeper meaning. For some people, Wasteland can be like Poland, because these days in our country, it's not great. And in the song Acid Rain or Veil of Tears, I also write something that the main causes of the end of the world, and these causes are connected with the politics and the religion. If you can't deal with that, sometimes it's lots of problems. You can find someone really dangerous who can use politics to extreme solutions, and it's the same as with religion. It's pretty dangerous, unfortunately. So in Poland right now we are really divided. We have two fractions, and one fracture. One piece is more liberal, and the other will really focus on some things connected strictly with Poland. So we've never been divided so much. So this Wasteland was also connected with wasteland, emotional wasteland. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So now you are a 3-member band, which you have also a live member replacing Piotr. So was it difficult for you to be on stage without him?
Of course. 2017, the first 2 shows with him was, we've been crying all the time. It was really hard to sing, but it was really hard at the first show, because we decided to do It was first anniversary of death, Piotr's death. We did the show in Progressia. Lots of people came, and it was really, really hard on stage. And we played another show, but it was better, and it was not so hard. This balloon just puffed, and that's, you know, it was different.
Yeah.
But later when we played the tour towards Blue Horizon tour, I said to everyone that we know that it will be hard for you to not see Piotr Grudziński on the stage. You need to get used to this. So let's thread this like sort of catharsis. Let's hope that it will be really hard, but after the show, you will feel like, okay, we can move on right now. So the whole tour was really hard. With the Wasteland, we finally are happy on the stage. Everything before was really, really tough. By the way, we wanted to come back to Romania in 2016. We had everything booked, but unfortunately we couldn't, right? So
Oh, I didn't know about.
that's why we came 4 years later. And I'm so sorry that it took so long, but we just needed some time.
Well, now you are here, so.
Now we are here.
So you are in the scene for over a decade now. You reached a lot of fans actually. You got many shows. You have also risen in the Polish metal scene, especially in the rock and progressive. So how do you reflect all these years of Riverside, leaving aside the sad moments?
Our music still evolves. Our music is changing because I never wanted to be a musician that plays only one type of music. That's why I started Lunatic Soul solo project and focused on oriental folk and electronic stuff. But also because we didn't want to be, you know, like progressive metal band, we started to release the albums like Eye of the Soundscape, which for many people was one big WTF. But I just wanted to mark that we are not that type of band. We have quite wide boundaries, and that's what we really want to do. So we are searching for. We've been searching for our identities for so many years. With the first decade, we were, let's say, sort of underground progressive band. With Shrine of New Generation Slaves, Love for You, The Time Machine, and Wasteland, we just proved that songwriting is more important for us. And I think that's also why the audience is not only connected with progressive music these days for us. We didn't want to do that, you know. We are not into... I know that we are releasing in Inside Out, but we are a different type of band. We're not in this Haken Leprous, New Moors, Dead in Thousand family. We are more into, we even want to skip that and then try something which is our own, which is really hard these days, you know. I know maybe it sounds selfish, but for me, the creating the songs, it's much more important than being a part of, I don't know, progressive community and to carry the flag with the name prog metal or prog, something like that. So, but I think with Wasteland, and we achieved something that it's more our own than ever. Because in the past we've been, you know, like Polish Porcupine Tree. Later, when we released something with lots of Hammonds, they started to say about it that we are just Polish Deep Purple. Later, we became Polish. I don't know what, something else. And but now, when we did the album with some Western influences, when some Nick Cave vocals, and when we don't have Piotr and his David Gilmour-ish style of playing, suddenly we are not Polish Pink Floyd anymore. So what's wrong with us? Maybe nothing's wrong with us. Maybe we finally became Riverside. So that's something that, from the artistic point of view, is very important for me. I'm always trying to think that if someone tells me that you play progressive rock, I always say, no, it's not progressive for me yet. I'm trying to find something else. So I'm so happy that for all these years, we've been trying to
push the boundaries, try to different solutions. You know, I never wanted to be the band like Iron Maiden that just doing all the same albums all over the time. Even the covers are really similar, and you don't even know. But I know that for many people it's great when it looks on the shelf like, you know, it's just like one big series of something. But we wanted to try, so I'm happy for the result, for the fact that we survived, and that we still try to taste something else, new things.
Yeah. What are the next plans after this tour? Will you be touring more for the summer?
We're going to play lots of shows. I do hope that we'd like to come back to Romania sooner than later. But probably we'll have to focus on the new album.
So there will be a
till the end of this year, probably we will just touring. With the half of the next year, we'll be recording. We are going to record a new album, and after that, probably we'll go on tour again. Yeah, and then in between, I will try to do something with my Lunatic Soul again. Yeah. Yes, this time it will be the green one.
Yeah.
It's time for green. Yeah, it's time for Typo Negative October Rust style.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot for the interview. It was my pleasure, and I can't wait to see you on stage.
Oh, that's a pleasure. Thank you very much. It was very nice.
Picture.